The content, views, and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the producer and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the City of Bremerton, BCAT, their officials, or their employees. We are back. What's cracking, Kitsap? We're here for part 2, actually, of this series. Again with Tommy. How you doing, my guy?
Good, buddy.
Yes,
Love this shirt.
yes. Yeah, I got this on now, man. You know how you like my dad's?
Good.
Yeah, looking good. Does
Yeah.
it match my eyes?
Yes. And you look good with the golden mic.
Man, you know, I think
That's my favorite part about the
I like
shirt.
that a lot. Honestly, I agree with you with that.
The original, we never had a gold mic. That's something new.
So who came up with the idea for the gold mic?
Maisha.
My.
Yes. I didn't know
see?
anything about her doing those. It was for our birthday present.
Yeah. Shout out again, Maisha Mosley. She is the owner of Miss My Presents, and definitely we're a good friend of the community. And I will have her on this show. I definitely will have her on my show. But right now, this is your time, man, because we want people to get to know more and more about what you're doing out here and the huge impact that this is having. And honestly, I'm telling you, man, I'm already thinking of some ways that I can help you out with getting this even more out there. You know, we talked a little about it off air, but definitely, man, when it all comes together, I think this is going to be a huge thing for this area. So they're charging you, I believe they said it like $50 per month.
Yes.
Man, that is the best kind of rent that anybody in the world could have asked for.
Nicest. I
may have to go talk to them about it. No, man. And it says that your mom. So there's a lot of expenses that come into this, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure. If you don't throw events, it can be quite expensive.
Yeah, it gets spendy.
And I hear that it looks like mom and dad put in about a good $200 to $250 per month just for the food.
Yes, and we now got volunteers who donate gift cards to Winco once in a while.
Yes,
it helps us out. And stuff because we just need enough food for all our members where they don't go without.
Because it's a membership type thing, you know.
Yep, and the nice thing about Story Hour, it's free, no cost, and you just show up. During the beginning of
But there's a membership sign up. No.
This is an open door for the special needs.
So how do you keep track of who's your members and not?
That's easy. When you come there, we have a sign-in sheet. You sign in, put your first and last name and your number, and before you leave, you gotta check out with one of the admins. Or one of the volunteers, like myself, my dad, or mom, or one of the volunteer event coordinators, and let them know you're leaving on your access bus. If your ride's there or bus, we'll walk you outside, make sure you get in the car with not a stranger.
So it's good to keep count. Okay,
good. We got a clicker where we keep count of every person who comes in the building.
First, man. Always.
Yes, we don't want when the special needs to wander out of the building or get lost. We've never had that yet, and we want to make sure they all stay safe.
You know, we're with some woods out here. We're gonna make sure for sure that we don't have that, because that'd be the last thing that we'd want. And but that was a big question of mine, was how do you keep? Because I have memberships at my shop. And they literally sign up. Well, they pay for the membership, but they sign up, and I'm able to keep track of all of them. It's literally like stamped right on their identification for my shop. So I figured that you guys probably had something like that with your Facebook, or you had something like that, like a registry or something like that.
Just when you get there, you sign in your name.
Okay.
And you're good to go.
Okay, because my next question would be like, how do you keep the riffraff from coming in? So you get people that like trolls, like internet trolls. You get live trolls, real life trolls. So how do you know that? How do you keep that separate from people that are just coming there to try to get video, quietly or things like that?
Well, the thing is, we allow people to take pictures and videos in our event. But if you're new and no one knows you, we stop you at the door and we're like, hey, how did you hear about the group or the events? Where we don't have strangers coming in there to try to prey on the special needs. Says we don't want that.
Yeah.
We make sure everyone.
Because there's kids there too.
Yes. Yeah. And we don't want no predators.
Yeah.
And we got to make sure everyone's safe at my events.
Yeah.
And that's one of our biggest priorities since day one.
Yeah.
Is to make sure the special needs when they go there and leave there are safe. And they leave, if they're depressed or sad, they leave there happy with a gift from the bingo table. If they want karaoke, they do karaoke. Or if they're hungry, because a lot of special needs don't know how to cook. And one of the things I love about my organization is when we have leftover food, we have plates and plastic bowls, plastic silverware, and we make sure every special needs leave there with extra food.
Yeah.
If they don't have food the next day, we make sure they take food home, and we make sure everyone leaves with food.
Yeah, man. That's
everyone
really good.
should be taken care of. If they come to my event, they're family.
Yes.
And they gotta leave there happy and just know they're excited for the following month.
That's what I like to hear. Every time you speak about them, it's kind of like how I am with my clients, man. They become family to me.
Yes.
You know, and this is a big thing, you know, because you can't have a group type situation like this without there being some sort of growth in the connection.
Yes.
Because you're just going to end up having, that's where you end up what I call riffraff. That's what you'd end up getting that at, because there'll be people feeling excluded or, you know, secluded. And those are not, you know, words that we want people to be, you know, saying for themselves or feeling at that time, you know? So I think it's really big to make sure that we focus on the safety and the inclusion and the outreach that you're doing to these you know, to these people that need it the most. For sure, they definitely need that, because we do not have enough events going on for special needs, and I'm really excited to start working with you a little more on that. You know, so what are some of the future hopes that you have here, man, for expansion? How do you hope to see this
I would
grow?
want, one thing I've been wanting for a long time, if we can get a bigger building, and two, transportation. That's one of our biggest problems. So a lot of the special needs, they come by Kitsap Transit or Access, but a lot of them don't have that capability to call them or have the funds to get that. One thing I posted about on Facebook a couple weeks ago is carpooling. See if people could volunteer and give the special needs a ride up there and a ride home. If they're coming, give them an extra ride.
But they need the wheelchair access to their vehicles as well, though, right? Okay, so that's a little bit of a dilemma. I could see that. Okay.
And the other day we had our big Danny Vernon show on November 8th, 2025. Kitsap Transit called my dad and they said, "You're not going to believe this. We got the most phone calls in forever," they said, "for Tommy's Story Hour event." And I said, "Well, it's our big Danny Vernon show. You know, they want to come see Elvis."
You're popping, dude.
They had over 20 phone calls for special needs who wanting to be there on November 8th. And they were calling to verify the start time and the finish time where they weren't
to make sure that they had enough people.
But that made me happy because we had the biggest turnout this year for our Danny Vernon show. We do it every year, but for Access to call to say they got more special needs wanting to come, that was amazing. And it was heartwarming to know the special needs want to come see an Elvis show. They know they can go there and be with their friends. And we had a couple special guests there that day, what kind of really caught me off guard. Deb, who was running for the senator, she was there, front row seat. My friend Shannon Turner, I believe you know Shannon.
Yes, I understand.
Shannon was there. And Jeff Coughlin was there. I had some really big names and dear people in my heart. This year, I helped Jeff with his campaign and support him the best I can. And I helped Shannon Turner, and they paid the favor and came to my birthday event and be able to see their friends from Tommy's Story Hour. And me, Jeff, and Shannon, and Deb all agreed we need more disability events, not just in Kitsap, but in Washington.
Yeah, this will grow to that.
Yeah, it will grow, and hopefully people hear this message from this interview and know we need more events in Washington.
I think they will.
Yeah.
I definitely think they will. I told you, my driver on the way here, when I was telling him about it, he was like, I told you what he said. He was like, man, I feel like crap. I feel like crap that here's a guy that has his own disability he's dealing with, and he is actually still doing things for people because he cares. You know, it wasn't anything that he came up to this and, hey, here's a great way to make money. You know, as an entrepreneur, that's kind of honestly the first thing that we think is what's the ROI, all right? But you're thinking, your attitude, your ROI is what I would call love, right? What I define as love. And that's either lending or loaning, as an acronym, lending or loaning valuable energy, loaning out valuable energy, right? And that's what they're giving you back, is that energy that is valuable, as you're giving them energy that is valuable. That sounds like emotionally successful, friendship wise, family wise, and because family doesn't always mean that it's blood, It could definitely mean that it's somebody that's not. And you guys are growing this in such a way that I could not see it doing anything other than getting bigger. I wonder, with your transportation problem, have you thought about getting a bus from the city? So we have so many of our former buses that we have here that maybe there'll be something that we could work out with getting.
It's something we would have to talk about with them, because we're not even a nonprofit. I do it from the kindness of my own heart. And
why haven't you set it up as a
the thing is, I can't, because I'm on Social Security, and it would affect my monthly income. And that's why we got people who donate gift cards or hot meals once in a while. And the bingo prizes we get for our monthly events are normally volunteer donated, or I buy them out of my own pocket. And it's costly, and I just wish people could donate more to help us out if they knew that the thing behind it, we're not a nonprofit, and we can't ever be. That's why we just need extra help from the community.
So completely crowd-funded type of events that are there. So, which I honestly, like, at first I was thinking, like, well, why not just ask mom or dad, or to take it on? But then, like, I know people who work in nonprofits, and it can be a lot. My mother owns a nonprofit, and it can be a lot of hassle to getting funds and finances versus just having the work that you guys already have to prove that this is what the turnout rate. And I think crowdfunding in this situation probably would be the best, to where it shows, like, there may be people that may not be able to contribute, with their bodies or their mouths or their platforms, but they can at least contribute with a couple bucks to help out with making sure that you guys are having a good time, maybe getting some really cool entertainment down this way, you know what I mean? So that way, maybe a concert or something that, you can throw up next. Because it looks like you had a carnival.
Not a carnival. We had the circus.
Circus.
I had some friends who are circus people.
Yeah.
And they came and did a fire show out in the parking lot.
That is cool.
Where they blew fire out of their mouths, and the special needs was going nuts.
I would have been going nuts.
I'm like, don't do it at home. They told them in advance before they did it. You should have seen some of the special needs. One of my friends with Down syndrome was like, is he okay? And my friend blew smoke out more, and he's like, he's a dragon. And still to this day, that friend of ours really thinks our friend who did that is a real life dragon. And if you ever watch wrestling, there's a thing called kayfabe where you don't break character.
Yeah.
We didn't want to break his kayfabe.
Yeah.
They still think that's a real dragon. Yes. That was really cool.
That's really cool, man. Yeah. And that's it. You know, you're talking about something that is to help the audience listening. That's what he said kayfabe, right?
Yep.
Is to keeping the scene as it is. Yep. Don't shock them. You know, if you get up there and you change it up and be like, but it's not. It could cause a whole situation.
It's like if people do magic shows, then they think it's very real. You don't want to.
You don't want to ruin the experience, dude.
Just
be cool about it, right? So I feel you on that one, man. Like, so with the transportation, with the venue growth, is there anything else that you would like to see?
Yeah, more, one thing I was talking to a few of my friends who, we do the Armed Forces Day Parade. Next year will be our 3rd year. One thing I would love, since we do the Armed Forces Day Parade, I was talking to Jeff about this and a few of my friends on city council. Why don't we do, they said it's impossible. I think we can do if we put our mind to it, all special needs parade downtown Bremerton. Just block a few roads and people have the special needs walk down the parade and then be cheered. Because I know a lot of special needs who would love to have their own parade and people cheer them. It's something.
Are they not allowed to be in that parade with you guys on the armed forces and walk with you?
They walk with us every year. Next year will be our 3rd year. But a few of my members, they're like, can't we have our own parade? And I'm like, that'd be fun for them.
Wouldn't want their own parade.
Yeah. And I'm like,
I agree.
Me and Jeff were talking about it. He thought it was an amazing idea.
Yeah.
But it's something the city would have to get approval of and stuff. And it's something I think we should still think about later in the future if it's possible.
That was another question I had was, how do you, since we know that Jeff didn't win this time.
Yes.
And
that was really heartbreaking.
How do you feel like do you feel like you're going to have that kind of support with the council and the administration that we'll be having next or continuing to have? Or do you feel like there's hope for a change and like you'll actually get some of that assistance that you need from the city?
There's a few red flags I can't really talk about a lot of.
Yeah.
But the city council, they all said they have my back with Story Hour and be able to support my group going forward.
Yeah.
The people who won the city council race are good friends of mine and they're huge supporters. I also talked to Ed, who's now the mayor of Paulsville.
Yeah.
He's a huge advocate for my group, and Deb Christensen, I think her name is.
Yeah, I think I've heard of Deb.
She's a big advocate. She was at my birthday event and supporting my group. She said if we need anything, let her know. And I just hoping there's a really bright future for our special needs and kids going forward. Our future should be bright than it ever has. This Tommy Story Hour making more milestones than we've had in our first couple of years. In the last couple of years, I think we've really shot the system to let them know the special needs are out there and want to be heard.
Yeah.
And stuff.
They definitely do, and Tommy Story Hour, by far, from what I've seen and what I've read and what I've heard now, and I've learned more in this interview, is a diamond in the rough. You understand? It is a event that's something that started as just a simple event that has truly grown into a loving, connected community, which is what what's Krackin Kitsap is all about bringing to the light. In this area, where can we find community connection inside of this small little home that we have, but yet so big.
Yeah.
You know,
that little home made a memory for all those special needs that day.
Yeah.
When I started my first event, I told them that day, we're going to do this one event, and if it goes well, we'll do another one. Then if it goes well, that was 7 years ago in January. We're still going. God's
in
watching.
70 more years to go, my God.
Yes.
Tommy, it has been a pleasure interviewing you, man, and getting to know more about your events. And guys, this is Tommy, the owner of Tommy Story Hour. And that is by far one of the coolest events that I have heard of in a very long time. And I'll be sure to show up to the next one for sure.
December is our Christmas giveaway. We're going to be helping out a lot of special needs families.
Okay.
And
where are you doing that at?
Limpet Mountain Rescue on 15th.
Oh, so the same place?
Yep.
Okay.
That's where we have all our
I thought it was somewhere
events.
in a big. I mean, that sounds that's a lot of gifts to be housing, man. So. Yes,
yeah, they're all
let's
at
do
my
it.
house. All the gifts.
Yeah, you got a podcast too, right?
Yes. I got a podcast on my webpage on Facebook under Tommy Story Hour. That's the name of my webpage. But my podcast name is Tommy Story Hour After Dark, and I started it during the pandemic. And so far, I've interviewed my dad, my mom, Jeff Coughlin, and our dear friend Shannon Turner.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna be on there next, man.
Yeah,
I'm coming next,
you're
man.
Coming next.
I'm coming to show out. You better have my coffee ready. You know I need my coffee.
Oh, we'll make sure you have your coffee.
I'll bring some Larry and Christie's again. How's that?
Oh, that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
I love my donuts.
Right on. Okay, you guys, this has been another wonderful episode of What's Krackin Kitsap. It is always my pleasure to bring more insight to this city and to my fellow cities outside, all around in the Kitsap area, from Port Orchard all the way to Bainbridge Island. I'm your host, Joseph Adams, aka Joe the Barber, here to keep the Kitsap cracking. Ciao.